Cause you down the ride, never tired. You will never know, you ain't never tried. Work it out, hit the gym, hit the field, hit the wind. Hey yo, I need that. Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard, on the job, you can see that. On my hit is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. Beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies I done grabbed a few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, there's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit. Your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never met.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the San Francisco 49ers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Well, the onset of fall weather, Coach, certainly a welcome occurrence for folks in Silicon Valley, and we've got football on a gorgeous day here in Santa Clara as we are situated at Levi's Stadium. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room, and we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at these 49ers as they interplay here. It's an early test here after 2 losses to start the season, and a game they probably really need.
Obviously, no way do they want to get to 0-3. Not many teams make the playoffs with that kind of a start.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
Two weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. A bad start there, a big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Here's Gonzalez. Off play action. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Nick Bosa in there to record the second sack of his young NFL career.
Now, I know we're only 2 plays in, but after giving up back-to-back sacks, something has to change with the protection, and they can't wait to halftime to make an adjustment.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Barry on the punt as he gets this one away. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. So now here are the 49ers under third-year coach Kyle Shanahan. They'll be led out by their quarterback standing at 6'2" from Eastern Illinois. It's Jimmy Garoppolo.
And I saw that he had an interesting quote in the research packet that we had after last week's game. It's all on me now. I've got to lead my team and find a way for us to win a game. 0-2, but they're at home. I guess he's going to try and find a way to get the home crowd involved early.
To throw is Garoppolo. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. And these are the guys we're about to see down on the turf in just a moment.
Joe Staley, the left tackle, one of the most respected players in the league, as well as one of the most talented.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Now Garoppolo on the bootleg. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll toss it to Coleman. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. There to stop him, Terrell Edmunds. A look now at our starting defense. Currently number 1 in the NFL against the run.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him. 2nd and 5 now. Garoppolo complete to the tight end Kittle over the middle of the field. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. No score after 1 on EA Sports.
Here we go. 180!
Now on 2nd and 13. Garoppolo. And he hits his running back, Tevin Coleman. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Here we go. 180!
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. How about the safety, Minkah Fitzpatrick, swooping in for the sack? Oh, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Last year's NFL leader in field goal percentage, Robbie Gould, on for the Niners field goal. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. CD, you know there were quite a few Bears fans back in January saying, why didn't we hold on to that Robbie Gould guy?
Well, it's a legitimate question. 33 of 34 for San Francisco in 2018. The crazy stat of the year, he missed more extra points, 2, than he did field goals, 1, in the 2018 season.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. And a nice gain of 21 yards. First down now, but that clock rolling. To throw is Gonzalez. Throwing on first down. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he's got this down to the 35. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. Back to throw. Gonzalez. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
A reminder, coming up later tonight, a lot of buzz about this game. The Browns, they've been doing some travel. Back-to-back primetime games for them. Monday night they were in New York. Now the Browns head to Los Angeles to take on the NFC champs, Browns and Rams. An 8:20 kickoff Eastern time, 5:20 in California. So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. This one complete to Coleman. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Well, that last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. On 3rd down, here's Coleman. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. On is the rookie 4th-rounder Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. This is brought in at the 21. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. You're down 3, under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, it might as well be even going into the half. That's not a deficit that makes me want to push it and potentially make a mistake in this situation and cost myself even more points.
But boy, getting into field goal range and tying it, that's tempting.
Awfully enticing. You almost talked me into it.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And you're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
Offense.
That's on the multiple-time Pro Bowler Joe Staley, the tackle.
Here we go. You got tight right there.
They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. We'll start up at New Era Field just outside of Buffalo, where it was the visiting Bengals who were able to come away with the road victory. A.J. Green, over 100 yards receiving and a touchdown catch as well. From there, let's get over to Arizona to check on the Cardinals at home in Glendale. And for the moment, they find themselves trailing the visiting Carolina Panthers. Christian McCaffrey has a touchdown there. Finally, let's get right to the center of the U.S. map and check in on the Chiefs at home in Kansas City. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Patrick Mahomes leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Meanwhile, in our game, not much happening on the scoreboard, just a lone field goal in that first half. For the call of the second half, maybe we can get a touchdown, fellas. Here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Niners to take over on offense. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. It's a run by Coleman to start the third quarter. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. Touchdown, 49ers! Marquise Goodwin, 78 yards. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Robbie Gould on for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. James Washington was the intended target. That'll bring up second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Dee Ford able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Here's Gonzalez. From the gun, he'll throw. And that is incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Here's Jordan Berry now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is taken at the 23. Officially, that'll be a 63-yard punt. Well done. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll be second down. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the first round, they expect you to play right away. In the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick.
When I was in school, math was not my strong suit, but I did learn enough to know how to play cover 3. 2 corners and a safety divide up the field in thirds. On this play, the corner didn't get fooled by anything in front of him. Kept his coverage all the way down the sideline in the deep third position and makes the interception.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Gonzalez now operating from the gun. He'll try and run it. He's got a first down and more past the 30. And finally down at the 41-yard line. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards. is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Now Gonzalez on 1st and 10. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. Steps away. He's going to take off with it. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. From the gun, Gonzalez. That one into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A good pickup there, 21 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look for a late touchdown. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's going to, and he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. Their mobile, agile quarterback. His 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
They do tack on the extra point as well. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So just under 2 minutes to play, and this would figure to pretty much be your ball game right here. And the 49er hands team does its job. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
No room to be had there on the first down run as he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 41-yard line.
They will run again with Coleman. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This from 54 yards away. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
So now the Steelers down 10-7, a little under a minute to go. And they need, at minimum, 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. D Ford in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Back to throw.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. To throw is Gonzalez. Throwing on 4th down. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. Now there's the timeout. Signaled for with 2 seconds to go. And the field goal unit likely trying to send this one to overtime. Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. With 2 seconds left in regulation, this to force overtime. And his kick is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. And we need overtime to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. We're all even. The extra session in a moment. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 21 yards. And now the clock will stop as he's able to get up and spike it here.
The outlaw.
Now Gonzalez looking to throw on 2nd down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. The linebacker, Fred Warner, right there on the coverage.
You got to remember, because now that we're in overtime, mistakes get magnified. So you got to walk that line between being aggressive and being careful, because that was a dangerous throw right there. You obviously could not have an interception in this spot.
And nearly was an interception. He's lucky to get that one back. It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh first. Offensively, back-to-back really nice plays. This defense, they've got 2 timeouts. Maybe should burn one.
Yeah, when you get back-to-back explosive plays, to me, anything over 10 yards, I'm good for some.
Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Williams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, just a minute ago, you said mistakes get magnified, especially here in overtime, and that turnover there could cost them the ball game.
And not many teams commit turnovers in overtime and come back and win. It almost never happens.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it, but they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. Excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers. Well, remember, Tevin Coleman was in the two-headed backfield in Atlanta during his 4 years there, along with Devontae Freeman. Now he joins a crowded backfield in San Francisco. But in Atlanta, he played under offensive coordinator Kyle Shanahan, and then, of course, Shanahan becomes a 49er head coach, and he made it a point to go out and snag his former running back because he really likes his 26-year-old ball carrier. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Something apparently not feeling right to Garoppolo, so he'll step back and take a timeout. That's their 2nd and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. What can Garoppolo do now with his drive? He sets to fire deep and unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Fielded just inside the 20. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Well, how about this? The very, very rare tie that we just witnessed. Hard to believe.
You don't see it very often. A bonus period of football, yet both teams go home a little bit unsatisfied.
So that's it. No double overtime until the playoffs roll around, so that means this one ends at a tie.
Yeah, that's ultimately unsatisfying for both teams, the fan bases. Heck, for us,
True.
We came here to see a winner, right?
We did.
Winner and a loser. We didn't get it. We end up with a tie. Everyone walks away. A little bit cranky on this one.
Man.
Yeah.
MEH, man. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we'll get ready for